Welcome to the Ocean Springs Community Live Show. I'm Cynthia Sutton.
And I'm Sarah Karkish. And we are always here to connect community and creatives. And today we have a special guest. We are in a wonderful studio, engraving hub, where digital fabrication is made. We take ideas here from sketchbook to physical product. But before we introduce you to the owner of Engraving Hub, Bryan Milling, Cynthia's got a few announcements to make.
Yeah, so we're excited to be here today. It's kind of unique and kind of fun to be in a different area. So some events coming up, we always kind of like to keep you updated on that within the community. You know, there's something really cool coming up. The Mary C is actually opening up its doors with some classes coming up soon. Yes. And we're getting into the month of May. And in Ocean Springs, we like to call May Food Month because we have so many restaurants and bars downtown, uptown, all around town. Mm-hmm. So at least one of your upcoming classes kind of ties into that theme. Absolutely. So as for events and activities coming up, tell your two events first that are coming up.
So we have a Cinco de Mayo, Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 is with glassblower Solange Ledwith. She will be teaching how to make your own margarita glass, and you come and you create your own. You have about 30 minutes with her one-on-one, and then you end up with the glass product in the end. And then Part 2 of Cinco de Mayo is with Chef Demetrio. That is a 5-course fiesta. Wow. One night only chili poblano menu. The glass blowing is 2 days, April 30th and May 1st from 9 to 4, so you can pick a time slot.
Love it.
And then with Chef D, his is on actual Cinco de Mayo, May 5th from 6:30 to 9:30. It's actually sold out, but we still have some spots left over for the glass blowing.
I think that's really cool because she's actually, like you said, she's going to teach people how to do that. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of an interesting art, and to have it added to the Mary C is kind of cool. So I'm super excited about that.
I am too, very much so. Glass blowing to Ocean Springs is new.
Right.
And everyone's very excited about it. And Solange is amazing. She's bringing her own mobile setup with her.
Wow.
So they get to see it all live and in action. So
I love that. You know, so that's a class coming up, the glass blowing class, and then the fiesta, the cooking class in the cafe with the new chef, Chef D, which, you know, we showed you guys. We visited with him
last time.
Yes, we did. So that's going to be a really cool addition, and it's kind of fun because, you know, food is art. So that's really cool to have him cooking. And also in May, something else coming up is we're actually going to do something called the Ocean Springs Food Crawl.
This is new, right?
Yes, it is.
This is your idea,
right? Right?
Very cool.
It's new to Ocean Springs, and we kind of wanted to do something a little different than Taste of Ocean Springs, just to be a little safer, just a little bit longer. So we kind of turned it into a condensed Taste of Ocean Springs called the Ocean Springs Food Crawl on May 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. It's mostly focused in downtown because we want it to be a walkable event.
Love that.
So there are 17 restaurants and bars already signed up to give samples. It's a ticketed event, just like Taste of Ocean Springs.
But it's not very expensive, right?
No, just $25.
Yeah, $25
a person. Awesome. So that's really, really cool, and you get to walk around, enjoy the night. So it's going to include wristbands, punch cards, and we'll tell everybody where to go. And it's going to be kind of fun because it gives everybody a chance to taste some of the cool things that Ocean Springs has to offer. So those tickets are available at the Chamber, and you can register still for the glass blowing class at the Mary C. And we'll put those links at the end. But now, let's feature someone really, really fun.
All right, so this is Bryan Milling. Let's walk over to him. Follow us.
This is a cool studio that we're in. I love it.
A little taste of what he's got going on here. This is a digital fabrication shop, laser cutters. So he is cutting, how thick? 1/4 inch?
Half inch.
All the way to 1/2 inch products. And of course he can do some layering.
Okay, so Bryan, to start out, tell us a little bit about what we have here. We're in your studio here, and tell us like what you do. I hear laser cutting and things like that. I know we've worked with you a little bit, but tell us what that is exactly.
It's actually taking a idea digitally and taking that and actually taking it from a physical idea that you have in your head to a physical product, as in hence the laser cutter, and making it 3D and making a product out of that idea. Not within weeks or months, but within hours.
Wow.
And generally speaking, is if you make a shape, you get the exact same shape out. So it's no artist interpretation, it's the actual manufacturing, more like a printer.
Right.
You know, make them again and again and again. So once you make one, you can make 100 or 1,000.
Wonderful. Okay, so tell us, I know we've used you before. You made us cool little
Yes, ma'am.
Ocean Springs, Ellen and Depot little house ornaments. But tell us, so this is a laser cutter studio. What got you interested in doing this?
Basically, it's a mix of the combination between technology, computers, and art. It's a final product. I'm big into computers. I'm kind of a computer nerd, as you can see, and because you need that background and then be able to make stuff. I'm kind of impatient. I want it now. I want to see it.
I understand that 100%.
Yeah, so I love to see the final product and not wait months. So it's just a kind of a cumulative of the whole entire lifestyle, the thought process, and just the enjoyment of making machines work.
I love it. Okay, so you're going to tell us a little bit more about the product, but tell us a little bit about your studio here. We are literally in nature here as part of your studio,
Yes.
which is very fitting with the laser cutter because it looks like you use a lot of wood in your laser cutter.
That's a material. With these lasers in general, only thing you can cut is wood. They do not
Wonderful.
cut metal. So you have to use a wood-based product.
Or acrylic.
Or acrylic,
or
mirror.
PVC.
Yes. And most of my products actually cover Ocean Springs lumber, right across the street. So we pick them up, bring them here.
Local,
Yeah,
right?
local. I mean, yeah, they know me, and well, they're a great company anyway, Ocean Springs Lumber, but they're just always so close. And why go anywhere else?
Wonderful. Okay, so so the wood that you use, does it matter what kind of wood? Can you do different things with different wood?
I can, but I generally stick with a birch plywood. If you're going to pay to get something cut with laser, might as well spend the extra few dollars to get a good quality stain grade, paint grade wood, so you could do something with it and not have to worry about sanding it.
Wow.
So that's why I use a good wood to start with.
So, Bryan, you collaborate with other studios, obviously.
Yes, I do.
So you have your own products, but then you will download other people's files, other people's designs, and cut them for them, or even train them on your lasers.
Yes.
And then they can come and use your equipment.
Majority of my work is, like you say, custom work, not my own product work. I only have very few of my own products, but majority of my work is a customer like you coming here. I want this done in quantity. You didn't get 4 or 5 of them, you got hundreds of them.
Right.
And that's why I have a big machine to be able to make 100 at a time or 200 at a time, a whole sheet of plywood at a time.
I love that because, like what you were saying, when you made us the Depot houses, you made a couple of hundred of those,
Yes.
and we had those within days, which
That's
was really
correct.
cool. And it's a very unique product.
It is.
So people can actually get, like for an event, like the things that we do for an activity, get a couple hundred cool little pieces, or get something custom made for their home or things like that.
One-off stuff, small quantities. I just enjoy people talking to people, and a lot of these smaller jobs I just take them because I want to talk to someone, meet someone new. It's just the enjoyment of it and making someone happy.
Right.
But a lot of them are plaques or trophy type stuff or a cup.
Nice.
And there's a story behind it. And I like hearing the story from the customer and where it's going. It's just part of the whole, it makes it all feel one piece.
Love it.
So, Bryan, you're going to start classes at the Mary C.
Yes, I am.
You're bringing a few pieces of equipment to the
I
Mary
am.
C with us, and then maybe even acquiring a very large laser cutter
Yes.
eventually. So, you want to tell us a little bit about those classes, which ones you'll be teaching, what kind of teachers you'll be bringing in to continue different types of classes on these machines?
Yes, what we'll be doing at first is a class with jewelry making, as you see.
Nice.
And what you can do is you can go actually create your own design, create your own fabric, and it'll be a 2-hour class, and you can create many, many pairs of earrings like this off a small laser machine. Now those shapes could be any shapes, they could be anything you want, any color you want. It's just how.
I love that it's acrylic.
I know,
And
so
it'll catch light a little bit.
Yes. And you can play with fabrics, you can use
look at
wood.
these. Oh my
But how
gosh.
intricate it really is.
Exactly.
But you can just imagine the shape you come to class and you don't have a stock shape. You say, if I want to make octagons or I want to make Christmas trees, you bring that idea with you and we'll cut them out and you'll be able to make 12, 15, 20 pairs of earrings and have all this stuff to make them with us.
Oh my goodness. So the first classes you're going to teach the folks that sign up how to make jewelry.
Yes, and the classes
That
are
is
going to be
very-
really a small class too. It'll be 2 or 3 people with one machine per person,
Wow.
plus one computer console per person.
Sounds very intimidating.
No, but I'm saying though, it's a 3-person matched class.
Wonderful.
So you're not going to have 20 people. You're going to feel that you've been left behind. It's just 3 people for 2-hour class.
I love that.
So
So
it's-
one-on-one, so
Yes,
you don't have to be
that's correct.
intimidated and make it really fun.
And you get a quality class too. You don't feel like you're just a part of a 25-person class.
So if you're
I
a
love
student
that.
who doesn't have a design background, that's okay.
That's correct. That's what I want.
Okay.
I want people just who have an acquisitive mind of how this stuff works. Also, we'll be doing doing the glasses and engraving those. We can actually do some plaques and there's several things we can be able to do class structure wise. And also, I would love to have free time scheduled. So if you have a product, or you have come to my class and taken the earring class, and now you have an order for 500 pairs, how do you cut them? After hours, you have the ability, and the Mary C has the ability to provide that service to the community to be able to factory stuff.
I love that. So you're actually getting a chance to kind of, and I love this. I love one thing, Sarah, that you're actually bringing to the Mary C is technology with art.
Absolutely.
And this is a really cool example of that because I never thought of it like that. Everything that people do here like this, cutting wood, like what you do, making things like this out of wood, that is an art. And it is really, really cool to see that. So, okay, I want you to tell us real quick about a couple of things on this table behind us. Okay, some of these have extreme detail to them.
Yeah.
So, and you got color to them. So tell us a little bit about some of these things that you do.
This is something I've been playing with for a while, is the layered effect of the wood. It all starts off as plywood and then is cut out and layered together. That's my fly, one of my favorite pieces.
How many layers is this?
I think he's 10 or 12 layers.
He is awesome.
And he's heavy too. He has some weight
He's
to him.
intricate.
Very intricate.
Can you hang him?
Yes, he can hang.
Oh, perfect.
How long does it take to make something like that?
Cutting out probably takes 2-3 hours.
Wow.
It's a slow process. It's not. I mean, it's not. The less you mess with it, better off you are. But it does take time.
This guy has some technology
He
connected
does.
into it. His eyes are light bulbs.
Yes, that's something.
Very cool.
Colin and I have been working on for a while, and he is actually. We've been making a bunch of him.
So these are really, really cool pieces that you are putting together, and it's kind of really neat to see all the different things that you can do. It's not just, one layer, one design. You're showing everybody how to cut things in layers with different designs, colors, make all kind of things. I love those magnets. I love the ornaments. I love the jewelry. So that's really, really cool that people are going to kind of get to see in the class. And then, of course, you bring your experience with those layered pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of intimidated here. We got a lot of fun equipment back here. So tell us a little bit about the equipment that you have here, because I know that it takes a lot to make something like that, and these machines are gorgeous and huge. So tell us a little bit about these.
Now these are just your. I would say a general basic laser, but that's kind of, but for me that's normal. Normal to have around. It's not a really intimidating unit at all. They're all paused right now, but there's basically a laser beam that hits material and as it goes back and forth, and it actually burns off a layer at a time.
Very cool.
And I could go ahead and close it up.
So, Bryan, you make different companies' signs, correct?
Yes, I do.
So you're actually making something right now.
Right now, it's actually engraving a Hurricane Hunter's logo.
You're not really supposed to look at the laser, but sometimes it's hard not to.
Yes.
It's a little mesmerizing.
Yes, it is.
But you can put some sunglasses on
You
and
can.
it's fine, right?
And that's why you close the lid and press start and walk away from it. What I've learned after years of experience, the less you mess with it, the better off you are. Just close the lid. If it messes up, you're not going to be able to fix it. Just let it go.
So have you ever started a fire with these lasers?
I have, but that's why they're smaller. That's why you close them up. And that's why you never leave the area of the area. I mean, you're always in there.
Keep a technician near
yes.
one of these.
Or myself.
And then it's
yes.
safe.
It's safe.
Good.
Because you are at
Very
the
cool.
end of the day burning wood with a light beam.
Right. So with some of your classes, are there going to be any design courses before? Or is that going to be someone else's baby?
That's something I want to go ahead and, at the Mary C, I see also the need for the adult education class of computers. So that's something I want to try to head up and work with y'all to get a classroom type environment going to where we can have 10, 12 consoles set up, computers set up, and we can teach classes like that. And that way it will all marry together in the day, the education, the computers, and trying to get people educated and let them know that this stuff not be intimidating. It's easy to do. It's fun to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go back over here and find Cynthia. Bryan, this has been so interesting and so exciting. Thank you for having us today. We're excited to have you at the Mary C, to see what you do with our students, what you do for your own company. bringing sort of that makerspace vibe to the Mary C has been a huge goal of, I know, many people for a long time. So having the equipment available for people to even use for themselves, that's a huge improvement on the potential
That's
of the
correct.
Mary C. So thank you very much for having us
Welcome.
today. We love being in your studio. It's so different and so unique.
Right?
So-
And it kind of gives us a chance to see what's to come at the Mary C.
Yeah.
And get a little glimpse into your life of your art and your creativity. And thank you for letting
Thank
us
you.
in today and experience that. And we look forward to signing up for classes and learning a lot from you at the Mary C coming up really soon. So this is really, really cool. Thank you for all the
thank
work that
y'all.
you've done. And I do want to say one little thing. We also have some cool other little pieces over here that you've made some of these.
He's in process.
Yes.
Those owl lamps, that's what those
Yes.
are.
I love those. I love those. If anybody is interested in your work, how can they find out more about you, or if they actually want to, in addition to teaching classes at the Mary C, but if they actually want to come to you to actually make a product?
For right now, we're trying to get moving up to the Mary C, and then once actually the Mary C goes through, we'll be able to contact them through Sarah and be able to set that up. There'll be, as time goes on, this product's organic, and we'll have a better defined process. But for right now, any project they might have, just get with
Contact the
Sarah.
Mary C.
Yes,
Perfect.
contact the Mary C, and we'll get with them.
I love that. I love that.
Very
Exciting.
nice.
Well, thank you again for letting us in and experience a little bit of the nature and the natural product here in Ocean Springs. Thank you so much, and
Thank
we look
you.
forward to working with you in the
Thank you.
future.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you next time.